Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Bobby, and today I'd like to go over a topic about which many over the years have expressed very strong opinions, but oftentimes I find that these opinions were developed without giving the topic a thorough going over. And today I'd like to investigate this topic thoroughly. And this has to do with ball position in a standard chip shot, because we've all heard it's supposed to be back, and the question becomes how far back and why. And then how far should I lean my shaft forward? Because we've all heard that we're supposed to have some measure of tilt, and there's an admonishment out there for people who overdo that. Don't lean your hands too far forward. Make it much more reasonable and have it only 5 to 10 degrees forward. Let's dispel the myths surrounding those two things. First of all, ball position. What we've got to understand is there's no way to assign a blanket ball position that's right for everybody in every circumstance. So you've got to find the ball position that meets the need of the particular shot you're playing. And the best way to do that is remember that there's some spot between your 2 feet where the club can hit the ground and keep going, not get caught. So let's say we're looking for that spot. I've heard the ball is supposed to be played back in my stance, so the good thing for me to do would be to start there and say, all right, let me take a practice swing and see if my club can hit that spot way back in my stance, behind my right foot, and still keep going. No, it got caught. Well, that can't be the ball position, because if I get caught, that's just a violent punch, empty of all grace and rhythm, and it's just something that doesn't carry with it the finesse needed to hit a good chip shot. So I know behind my right foot's not the spot because my club got stopped. Let's move it a little farther forward. Let's say right off my right big toe for this shot. That got caught too. Now, not as much. That's getting closer to the right spot. Let's put it right in the middle of my stance and see what happens here. Oh, much better. My club can hit the ground and yet keep going, so that would be the ideal spot. So here I found the spot. I'm going to play the ball a little farther forward in my stance, about the center, not because of some blanket policy regarding ball position that I'm adhering to, but because my practice swings have just demonstrated to me that that's the spot. And once there, all I've got to do is make a nice smooth stroke, and there it proves to be the right spot for me. All right, what about this, the shaft lean forward or not? Keep in mind, and this is from an instructor's point of view, I'm looking at the big picture when I'm sharing this. Every golfer comes to the game with this same insidious habit of flipping their hands at the ball, and it's something that they cannot resist the temptation of doing in the presence of a ball. If they're hitting a short game shot, they're trying to add loft, and that shows up as a flip. Priority number one is to get rid of that flip. And what my history in golf has demonstrated to me, at least to my satisfaction, is that the more I can get a person to lean the shaft forward, even more than what might eventually be the right amount, the quicker they'll get rid of this awful habit of flipping. So if we can put our hands forward and form a small letter Y with our arms and club, even a little more than what might eventually be appropriate, that person will tend to lose the habit of flipping faster than if they do it the other way. And that is, a person who starts here almost always flips at the ball, and they just simply can't resist the temptation to do so. Now, why would someone warn me about the dangers of suggesting a student should have their hands entirely too far forward? Why would someone say that's not a good thing to do? Well, they'll say, because if you put them too far forward, Bobby, they're going to dig the club in the ground. Well, we already know where digging the club into the ground comes from. That's a ball position thing. That's not a hand position. So what we've got to do is go through the same thing. Yes, if that ball's way back in my stance and I've got my hands way forward, that is the recipe for digging. But what I've got to do is follow the same guidelines and find the ideal ball position to complement these forward hands. So with my hands way forward, that ball position is likely to be very left in my stance. Let's think about it. Left hands means a more left ball position. But if I do that, I don't have to worry about digging. I'm not going to dig at all. I found the ideal ball position to make this work. All right, and so that's where a ball position meets your forward hand position. Eventually, if you're the type of person who says, well, I have, as my preference, having my hands back a little bit more. Well, that's cool. That means that if your hands are back, the ball position you begin to prefer is also one that will be farther back in your stance as well. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all there is to it. I know that's going to help you. If I can do anything for you, let me know. I look forward to seeing you next week.